Freelancer is often cited as being one of the best space games ever made, if not the best space game ever made. Now this is where Underspace comes in. This is a spiritual successor to that game. Underspace has been developed by indie studio Space Games and has been in the works for quite a while at this point. In my playthrough, I can certainly say that yes, this is definitely inspired by Freelancer, and the team have hit more than a few right no's. In this video then, I'll show you the highlights for my first hour in the game. The video, by the way, is sponsored by Camelon Games, the publishers of Underspace, so my thanks to them. You can find out everything you need to know in the video description below, so do check out that link. The game is available right now. So here we are, up in space, flying around in our spaceship. You saw moments ago we was down on the surface of a planet, and yes, you can walk around buildings down on planets, as well as inside various different space stations, and we'll be doing some of that throughout the video. We got some travel nodes here that move us between various different sectors in space. In fact, there's 110 different star systems in this game, and all of them are handcrafted. That means then there's plenty to explore, not to mention plenty to encounter as well. And very quickly, I happen to have my first encounter with a few pirates trying to take me down. Now these guys were fairly easy to actually destroy, thankfully. Later into the game, things do get a little bit tough, and I had my ship destroyed more than a few occasions when it came to that. That's easily surmounted though when you upgrade your ship. There's 500 different modules you can upgrade your ship with. More weapons, more power, more shielding, all of that lovely stuff. There's also a whole variety of other different types of ships you can purchase, and these include fighters, heavy fighters, freighters, and more. Now what makes Underspace really unique, and what made it stand out for me, is the space storms, these hyperspatial tempests. Now these storms are scattered throughout the galaxy, but the game does force you into an early encounter with one very early on, before in fact you even arrive at the first station. And yeah, that was a bit of a surprise. I was hit direct on by old Carly. This is the monster that lives within the storm. Now, many of the storms do have monsters in them, and they all look different. This one was fairly straightforward and fairly simplistic. Wrong key there, excuse me. So yeah, we can maneuver nicely here. We've also got a very nice strafe option. You just saw that in action. And to tame the storm, we need to destroy the monster. This is fairly straightforward when it comes to old Carly. I think really the dev just put this in as a bit of a taster, kind of a tutorial. And old Carly's not too hard to take down, fortunately. But further into the game, they do get far more challenging, and some of them are pretty special. I actually don't want to spoil them for you because of that. They're really neat, actually. So eventually, I managed to destroy the old snake here. Boom, there it goes. And, well, that's not the end of things. What we have to do next to actually tame the storm is destroy the center of it. And that's actually pretty nearby. We can fly over to that and attack it. Here we are, just a few moments later, doing precisely that. So once the spatial anomaly has been destroyed, we do get a reward in the form of usable upgrades. At this point though, in the playthrough, this is where things really do start get to be quite interesting, because the game opens up in a typical vein of like Freelancer and Elite back in the day. You can go when you want, where you want, and, well, you can trade, you can fight, you can do a variety of different missions. There's a whole bunch of nice activities to do. And talking of which, I was initially heading towards Riken Ran Station, a station outpost that, well, is fairly legit, all above board. And instead, I actually got an invite to a Caesar's Circle. So I thought I'd have a look here, because things sounded a little bit, well, shall we say, less than savoury. And that turned out to be exactly true. Here, it seems that the more shady type, shall we say, actually reside. So back there, we saw my ship docked up, and we can actually walk around inside the station and interact with the various different services. Of course, prime amongst these is the bar, where you can gain various different missions and quests. Other activities include purchasing new ships, purchasing upgrades for your ships, as well as, of course, finding a cargo where you can actually trade, buy cheap and sell high at other areas. So this is the first guy I actually talked with. This is the barkeep inside the local bar, and if we're a bit of the shady type, a bit of the smuggler, a bit of the rogue, then he's probably the middleman that we should be speaking with. But of course, he's very keen to point out that he's not actually doing anything legally wrong himself. He just knows people. and there's nothing illegal about that, right? Elsewhere in this area, we've got the breaking news and a job board. We saw not much on the breaking news at the moment, but they were talking about pornography as they are here on this mission. Pornography is illegal for some reason here, but of course some people are desperate for it, so they'll pay some high prices. And where there's the high prices being paid, there's always someone willing to smuggle. We're not going to do any of that though, because I wanted to try a few missions that are a bit more above board. So it's time to head off to Ringland Station. This is where it makes sense to actually have a look at the galaxy map then, as well as the universe map. The galaxy map shows all the current activated storms, as well as the train routes, because you can take trains through the galaxy. It also shows the local map. The glowing green region is the local nebula. Elsewhere we've got a variety of different icons, and they represent different locations. They could be stars, they can be planets, they could be stations, or a variety of different other locations, such as your local mission waypoint. So the galaxy is certainly expansive, but we're not heading to any of those just yet. Instead, we're coming here to the shipyard. My intent at this point was to pick up a mission, as well as maybe upgrade a module or two. I was particularly interested in getting some new armour, if that was to be available. Now inside the station was pretty neat because there's a great sense of scale here. Over to the right we can see the trading area. We can actually pick up some cargo here to sell. I did head on over here to have a look, so we can spend a few moments here. On the right we can see the cargo that we can collect. Now I wasn't going to do any trading just yet, that's not what I was here for, but we could have done it had we so desired. We could have picked these medical supplies up, for example, or these scrap metals, and then headed off to a different location in order to sell them, potentially, hopefully, fingers crossed, for a profit. But as I said, trading wasn't my chosen activity for today, at least not for this particular initial part of my playthrough. So instead, we were looking for the bar. Now, you can press the F keys at the top of the screen there to instantly jump between these locations, but for now I was more interested in actually exploring and taking a look around. That bouncer there actually looks a bit scary, eh? So again, breaking news board here, as well as the job board. I think this time we should be able to pick up some locations, some activities to go for. Now another thing you may have noticed, I forgot to mention as it happened, but as we left the cargo area, we actually got a little kind of a mission activity come up on the side of the screen. And that's because we overheard a conversation as we were walking around, and that's about the strange gates. Find the strange gate in the Valdrim Nebula. So that's things that can happen as you are roaming around. Elsewhere in the station, we were looking at the equipment dealer because I wanted to, like I say, upgrade the armour. I was curious whether or not to upgrade the weapons, but I thought I'd give these a bit more testing out first, the ones that we actually start out with, just so I could get a really good feel for them before I spent money on upgrading them. But different stations have different equipment, as is normal for this type of game, so you may need to fly around a little bit to actually pick up the perfect build for yourself. For now though, I wanted the armour, and you can see that's all nicely and snugly fit on board my ship. That actually gives us a little bit more defence, so we should be able to protect ourselves a little bit better against the hostiles. Elsewhere around the station, you can pick up another ship if you so want. Now these are fairly low priced, to be perfectly honest. If you want one, you could probably purchase one right out the gate, straight at the start of the game. And we got some light fighters here, some heavy fighters, a medium fighter, as well as a freighter. But keep in mind, if you do purchase one of these, then you will need to outfit it. It doesn't come much in the way of equipment already pre-installed. But you can see the loadout options here. We can fit a few nice options there, and modules if we need to. Heading back to that mission board though, we've got a pickup mission here, and it does say that rest assured the materials are perfectly legal, however they are very valuable. In other words, I guess expect trouble. So I've picked up that mission. You can see there are a few other options here. You can see each of them do have difficulty ratings. This one's a difficulty level of 3. The one I picked up had 4. And as you travel around the galaxy, you'll find other job boards elsewhere in some of the other star systems that have a much higher difficulty rating. Of course, the higher the difficulty, the higher the reward. It was obvious then that there was going to be trouble when we got to the mission point. Firstly, because this is a shady freighter. And also because, look at the contacts list down in the bottom left of the screen, and I was looking at the left contact screen and hit the ship. Poor freighter. but we can see there's a number of hostiles right nearby. Now, as soon as we're here, we can see that the mission has in fact been updated. We've got over in the cargo hold, I do believe, where are we here? There we go. Obviously it's special. We're on the special thing. We've got this Haskar component, and that is the item that we've got to transport back to the station. But can we do that without first being attacked? Well, unfortunately not. And this ship isn't perfectly cut out for combat, so things get a little bit dicey. As you can see straight away there, my shields right down to 0 more or less, and I've nearly lost my hull almost completely. Fortunately, we can press the G key and use a bit of a hull repair, and eventually our shield will repair as well. And now it's time to actually try and take these hostiles down. They turned out to be a little bit more powerful than I anticipated. So yeah, you're completely right in case you're thinking it. I should have upgraded my weapons when I was back at the shipyard. Fortunately though, with a bit of backward and forward in, I did eventually manage to destroy them. My tip here though, as soon as you get the opportunity, do upgrade your weapons to something a little bit more powerful than the little pea shooters you get started with. Time to head back to the shipyard though, and hand in this item. Unfortunately for me, even though this mission paid fairly well for a low-end mission, I needed to also spend a substantial amount of money to get my ship back in the top condition again with a bunch of repairs. So we can see the payout there on the left, $10,000. Unfortunately, I had to head straight to the repair shop to actually spend the vast majority of that cash on getting my ship back in a top condition again. And you can see $6,460 to actually get all of that work done. Leaves me with a little bit of a profit still, so not too bad all in all. So, the Underspace galaxy is full of activities to do. Whether you just like exploring, whether you like to go out and do some missions or quests, whether you want to do a bit of trading or combat, there's plenty to do. And if you are a fan of Freelancer, then, well, Underspace is certainly very much inspired by that, as said, and after playing with the game, I can attest to the fact that is very much true. As you travel around the galaxy then, you'll find yourself travelling from star system to star system. You'll undertake many different missions, encounter different areas, such as this lovely gas planet, as well as other planets where you can dock at their surface size. Ultimately then, Underspace is an indie game, and it's also very much an old-school space game. If that's the sort of thing you're looking for, then it seems Underspace is very much worth picking up. Thanks again to Ringland Games for sponsoring this video, and do check out that link in the video description. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.